Scottish.
Because we can take you with us. Would you like to go?
Do you want to?
Well, let's go then. Do we?
Okay.
He's a very talented designer, isn't he? He's very, very talented.
You look like a gnome.
We're passionate in other... Oh no.
Oh
that's
no. Gosh, it's all going wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. This is it, isn't it?
No.
That's for you, Ferran Marino.
It's not quite like that.
We will allow that. Yeah, if my eyes go wide every time I look across at Kay, it's because for a split second I'm worried she's forgotten to put a top on.
It actually, in reality, object.
That was fast.
Well, people have seen that before.
She
so
doesn't mess around.
I don't know what you're moaning at. It's alright.
Welcome
Hello.
to a very special episode. Because
60.
I know it's your age.
It is. I feel it.
I didn't get punched. I did quite well. I have an announcement to make. I cannot stand bamboo needles.
Oh, we've had a thing.
Each to their own, and everyone has tools that suit their style. And I think that isn't that cool.
Absolutely.
If you are a loose knitter, bamboo needles are going to be great.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, if all that existed in the world was bamboo needles,
I wouldn't knit.
You wouldn't knit.
I would not knit. There is the right tool for everything, and I used the wrong tool.
And I could have swapped it.
But there was no point with...
You kept saying, I've only got 4 rows to go, there's no point. It was my mistake. I gave him a magic loop to finish off the top of a hat.
I've always finished off the top of hats with DPMs.
I know.
And I think I might stick with that.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I just thought I'd give you something different to try, I suppose.
I don't really like it very much.
You didn't like it very much.
I'm not into... at the end of a hat, there's quite a bit going on, isn't there? Well,
there can be.
Yeah.
You had pattern to keep going as well on that one, didn't you? So
Yeah.
and you had yarn overs at the end of rows and things like
Yeah,
that. So
try getting your head around doing a yarn over at the end of a magic loop.
but it would have been the same had you been using DPNs. You still would have had to have done a yarn over at the end.
But because you're not pulling the needle off
True.
the stitches,
True. Yeah.
my brain can understand
Yeah,
the existence of
yeah.
said yarn over. You live and learn.
I'll show you what
Yes.
what damage he did to the bamboo needle later on.
It's impressive stuff. Talking of
It's
impressive...
not very hard bamboo, is it? I
No.
don't think. I think
No.
it's quite a soft material.
I don't know whether it springs
Maybe
back.
that's why it's so grippy, because it's
Yeah.
soft.
And maybe it springs back after.
No, this won't
okay.
spring back.
Okay. And speaking of impressive things, what about... Yes, hello. What about the
Who are you saying hello to?
I'm saying hello to Francisco in his
right,
winter wear.
okay.
The Bakery Bears Handmade Christmas
Yes.
make along. It's not Cal, is it?
No, it's a make-along. I mean, I think I've put on Ravelry. I've put KAL.
But you all
Yeah,
know.
but you all know it's
You're cool.
it's a make-along. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been greatly embraced by everybody, which is lovely.
What did you say? There was a load of finished objects already.
There's lots of finished objects already, which is fantastic.
And to
Yeah.
think someone will win a personally handmade hat by me.
I know.
And when you look at the speargrass coming up later, you're going to want it to be you.
You are.
And newsflash, there is an additional prize, isn't there, Kay?
Yeah, we've got another prize,
Yes.
haven't we?
For the what are the two pots called? There's
There's the patron only FO thread,
and that's the one
then
where you get.
I'm going to dye a skein of yarn,
And
you're going to knit the hat.
Yes.
That's right, isn't it?
Yes. And then there is.
And then there's everybody, including patrons. You can double dip. So it's for the FO thread where it's everybody.
And the prizes in there we have so far.
Hand-dyed yarn again by me.
And a pattern.
And a pattern.
One of your patterns.
Yeah.
You can pick any of your
Yeah.
patterns. And now you also get to select a bag to the value of $30 from the amazing Poms Ensembles Etsy shop.
Yes.
That's Christine Pommier,
Christine.
who is She's the business.
Yeah, she very
We've
kindly
known Christine
donated
for
the bag.
ages.
Yeah, we have, and we haven't got the bag to show you because
You get to pick
cleverly,
it.
very cleverly, you will just get to pick a bag that's in her shop, and she will send it directly to
Yes.
you, which is incredibly efficient.
It's incredibly
So
efficient.
thank
but
you, Christy.
the other thing that I like about that is, go look at her shop.
She's got some beautiful bags.
But it's the choice. It's like,
Yeah, there's lots of choice, and she does have beautiful bags. So please go and have a look. It's lovely.
yeah, and right now, if you are a Bakery Best patron, you also have a discount
There's a
code,
discount, isn't there?
which is valid until the end of December.
Oh right, I thought it
Yeah.
was October. Is
No.
it December?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, Pom's Ensemble's bag. You will get to select one to the value of $30. But if you're a Bakery Best patron and you're over there looking, thinking, "Oh, what if I win?" If you see a bag that you really like, you could buy it immediately and use your discount code from the Bakery Bears news.
Brilliant.
And the Bakery Bears Handmade Christmas has been having quite an effect locally too.
Locally?
Yes,
Oh, you mean us?
e.g. in this house.
We've got loads of finished objects.
Talk about knitting podcast. Goodness
I
me.
know, we've got loads of finished objects this week.
We have 7 What's on Your Needles,
Yeah.
and we have 6 What's off your needles.
Gosh, and actually I was just thinking now, and none of mine are for the Handmade Christmas.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
No.
Well, more fool you, because
I
remember,
know.
we're keeping score.
That's not very good, is it?
We
That's
should be
not very
tallying
sensible.
up. There should be a prize for the person.
Not planned that very well.
There should be a prize for the person who knits the most things for Christmas.
Right.
Yes?
Yes, well I think...
Because everyone else is going to get a lovely prize for
I know.
their. So we shall keep score.
Dan's going to win, I think, on that
Well,
one.
I don't know about that.
And I'd just like to
Yes.
say my jumper completely blends with my body today. So I seem to have put on a jumper that's entirely the same colour as my skin.
That's okay.
So I apologise for that.
We will allow that. Yeah, if my eyes go wide every time I look across at Kay, it's because for a split second I'm worried she's forgotten to put a top on.
It actually, in reality, it doesn't look quite the same flesh colour. It's more of a pink, isn't
Well,
it?
no, it does look
Oh,
flesh
really?
coloured.
Does it
The difference
really?
is this is textured and this is not.
Well,
We
no,
must
no.
just say as well, hearts go out to anyone who's been affected by Hurricane Matthew. I know it's
gosh.
hit the
Yeah.
coast really bad, and if anyone is, hopefully, if there's any watchers, hopefully everyone's okay. So thinking of you.
Yes.
But
Naughty Matthew.
oh well, that's my middle name.
So it is.
Yes.
I was watching something recently. I think
We were talking about how they named things.
Yes. I think they'd just brought on the weatherman on the news. I think there must have been a slow news day, and they just said, we've got to talk about something. So they brought on the weatherman. They were talking about how they named the hurricanes, weren't they? Really normal names.
Yeah.
And I can't...
They should be like evil names.
I know.
Because they're such evil things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should start finding out. Kay Jones, what's on your needle?
Okay. And I have brought out my Christmas mug. Don't tell anyone. I know it's only October.
It's funny. I was actually going to bring this up, and that is, at what point is it acceptable? And I think I know. At what point is it acceptable for us to start wearing Christmas attire? And my theory...
Well, I almost today put on...
It's October, Kay.
I know, and I didn't.
It's not allowed.
No, it's not completely festive. Can you remember, was it last year you bought me that long sort of jumper dress?
Right.
That's deep red with like snowflakes.
Oh, yes,
here.
very nice, very nice.
And it's just got like a little row of kind of a snowflake sort of look.
Yeah, I think that you can get
That's
that out.
more wintry. I don't see that as Christmas.
I think
entirely.
November the 1st, you can get that out.
Yeah, so maybe next time I'll wear that.
I was thinking for the blatant Christmas attire.
Well, first
We
of
really have to wait. No. I think we can wait until the 25th of November on the day when we release our Bakery Bears Advent Calendar 2016 trailer.
All right, okay.
I think that is the
seems
moment.
fair enough, because that'll be around Thanksgiving as well,
Yes.
won't it? And
I think that is the moment. So, yeah, I mean, we'll release it on
in
Thanksgiving.
America, Thanksgiving
We'll
in
release,
America.
because Canada's just had their Thanksgiving.
Canada's just had their Thanksgiving.
I need to
Happy Thanksgiving.
understand how all that works.
No, I don't understand why, Canada is
Please come
in
tell us
October.
in the
Some,
Ravelry
obviously,
thread if you would like.
all
on
you
the-
lovely Canadians out there will be able to tell us why Canadian
Please
Thanksgiving is
supply
different.
much history, because you know I like it.
Yeah.
So, Kay Jones, let's
yes.
find out. What is on your needles?
Right. Well, the first thing is, It is another Sockhead hat.
Oh, she's obsessed.
I am
Officially.
mildly obsessed now with
You
these.
even started thinking about making me one, but I don't think I want one.
Oh, have you changed your mind?
Did I even ask for one?
No, you didn't. You didn't ask for one. No. You have got.
How could I change my mind?
I know. Well, you have got a fingering weight hat that was very kindly sent to you that you do wear when you go running. And I just thought, oh, maybe you might want another one. As an alternative.
Oh, hold on. You're talking... Right, okay.
I mean, for when you go running.
Right, fine. I'd love one.
We had this whole conversation.
When you show that, I think...
I'm not going to knit you a slouchy sock head as if I would do that.
Well, that's fine then.
But no, I mean, on you, this kind of stitch count would just be a beanie.
What are you trying to say?
Your head is a little bit larger than most people.
I would love one. Thank you very much.
That's fine.
Please continue.
Yes, I'm going to knit you one next. So I'm knitting a sock head using the yarn I showed you last time. Do you know the moustache yarn? The ridiculous number of stripes, the skinny stripes. It was the Theory colourway. This is what I've got left of a 50 gram. It was split very conveniently into two 50 gram skeins. So I'm just using 50 grams for the sock head. So this is what I've got left of that skein. I reckon I've used about half of it so far. And this is where I am. Oh, it's so fun. Look, how pretty.
Stripy?
Yeah, well, it is very stripy. And I'm actually getting, I thought at the time I might get one full round of each colour. Well, some of the stripes are a little bit thicker than others. Can you see, like, for example, the green here, the pink, the blue, they're a bit thicker, and then you get this one which is skinnier. So sometimes I'm getting a couple of rounds, other times I'm getting not quite one round, if you can see in that brown here. But I'm loving it. Conveniently, I finished the rib, which is about 3 inches, and then it started to go back to the green, which was down here. So it worked out really well. So I guess I'm at about, what's that? It's about 5 inches, I suppose. So this one is for me. Well, at the moment, I think it's for me. I've said Bryony loved it, and I said, well, she could borrow it if she wanted to. So I'll probably knit, I'll just see how I go with yarn, but I'll probably knit to maybe 8 inches and then do the decreases. Because I know normally with hats, I like to knit my own hats to 7 inches and then do the decreases, because I like hats to come below my ears. I can't see the point in wearing a hat if it doesn't cover your ears, because that's what gets really cold for me.
It depends, doesn't it? It depends how hot your head gets.
I suppose.
Because if your head gets really warm, because sometimes I don't want a hat below my ears.
No, I mean, you don't like that, but I do. I always want a hat to come below my ears.
I think I get too warm then.
I don't get too warm really, and I really feel the cold in my ears. I don't know whether it's to do with the tinnitus thing or what, but my ears get really cold. So I like hats to come down there. So a normal hat for me, I would knit to 7 inches. So I thought if I knit this to 8, it will just give me a little bit of slouch at the top, and it won't be too much of a thing for Dan to worry about, to look at. That's where I'm up to, and it's so nice. The yarn's lovely. It's very soft. It's a 75-25. I think it's the same base actually that I am using for one of my own bases that I've been dyeing up. I'm pretty sure it's the same. So it's lovely, and I'm really enjoying that. So that's been my bedtime knitting for the past maybe week, something like that. And I'm getting about 1 inch done a night. It's very addictive because the colours are changing so rapidly that, you know, in a minute and you're on to another colour. Like that purple is one of my favourites. Can you see? It's beautiful.
It is. And
it's right next to a sort of pinky colour. Really lovely. So I'm knitting that as I've done the others on 3mm Knit Pro Novas. I've worn these needles in really well now.
Knit Pro Novas,
yeah,
nice.
They are nice.
These are the polar opposite of bamboo.
Yes. Yeah, they're nice and slick. Like I said, I think I've worn these in really well. They knit. I can knit quite fast on these. Whereas I bought a new pair of these to start something else, and I haven't worn those in yet, and they're a bit more grippy.
Do you know what I'm interested to know? I'm interested to know, do you like grippy or slippy?
Yeah, grippy or slippy.
Please come.
Hashtag grippy or slippy.
Yes.
And so, let us know.
Which are you?
Yeah.
I would like to know.
And yeah, and I don't know what I would say. I think you're a more
because of the tightness of my knitting,
you would say
I am
slippy.
Slippy.
Because you knit so tight.
Yes. I would say my guess would be, right, if you were a really superb knitter and you were able to alter your gauge to suit the project,
gosh,
then I would say that you would be both.
Both, yeah. I think a lot of people would say for some projects they like grippy, if it's a silky yarn, for example.
Yeah. But I just wonder, though, if it
I think
perhaps,
everybody would have a preference as to whether they prefer...
Yes.
I'm not certain.
I'm not even certain that for some people it will have anything to do with whether they're tight or loose.
No.
It will be how they like it to be.
Yeah, and I know, I've heard some podcasters say that they like needles that are slick.
What you want, surely, is when you're knitting, you want to be in a position where... What I found was, when I was using those bamboo needles, and I've had issues before, and perhaps it's always been with bamboo needles, because we have some bamboo DPNs as well, don't we?
Yes.
Yes. It hurts my fingers.
Right.
Because I'm shoving them... It's like... Oh.
It's so tight. I think what happens as well with you... I think the problem when you were doing it magic loop is obviously when it slips from the needle onto the cable... It felt like the stitch was tightening up.
It was tightening up.
And I think it probably was because the stitch was so tight on the needle. When it dropped off the needle, it just did that, you know, and it was tighter. So getting it then back onto the needle, it was like this. It was just painful watching it, honestly.
It was painful doing it. My finger still hurts.
Yeah, well, I said, look, let me get a metal needle for you, but it was like, no, I've only got 4 rows.
I'm not interested in changing it again. It's so tedious.
I would have done it for you.
What's the point then of me knitting the thing? You might as well have just knit it for me too.
But you kept going, well, look, all the time.
We're allowed to have... Ow!
Hashtag grippy or slippy.
We want to know.
Tell us, and maybe
please.
just put a picture, on Instagram and show us your favourite needles. That would be super fun.
And by all means, chime in below in the show notes.
So for these sockhead hats, I definitely like slippy, just because you're just going round and round and round, zoom, 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 and then, I really, really love that. So that is my first little project.
Isn't there a song called Zoom? Zoom.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
I'll be singing that in my head now.
Sorry. Go. I messed it up. But after 60 episodes, I've just done a K.
Dan Jones.
Yes.
What's on here?
Well, I'll show you. I'm so happy for you.
That I got that right, and then you mucked it up.
No, I'm so happy that I have sewn myself up by doing an awful link.
Well, that was terrible, wasn't it?
It's taken many, many hours,
Shocking.
many episodes. That's shocking.
That's shocking.
You are, of course, allowed to begin now using ELF references.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's a new project. Now, I was going to call this... I don't even know what the second word is. What is the second word? Antler?
Toque.
Okay.
But on Ravelry, it's just called the antler hat, I think.
So
when you print the pattern, it does say antler toque.
I don't want to confuse anybody.
It's the antler hat by Tink Can Knits.
Yes. I love how it looks because it has really big cables.
It's a horseshoe cable.
Yeah, and it looks like what I'm sure it's supposed to look like, which is antler horns.
I used the horseshoe cable on Mr. Bakery Bear's jumper.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, I'm only doing just a bit of ribbing. And of course, it's twisted rib because there isn't any other type. And I'm enjoying it, actually. And I was concerned that I wouldn't be because you know how I said, and I say regularly, how I like pretty yarns and you want to knit with nice colours.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I think it's just dark colours.
Yeah, well, I'm the same. I don't really like knitting with dark colours.
This is a Christmas present for my brother, which the Declan's hat was going to be for him. But then, in the course of knitting it, I changed and I decided that it would be cool for his son. And what we've established now, which is really cool, is we have a Declan's hat for his daughter.
Yeah.
So they'll have matching hats, but obviously girl and boy colours.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to take the cables up a notch.
Yeah. So I looked around for another cable.
Yeah, you were funny. Kay said, do you want to sit down with me and we'll decide what? I went, no.
No, just find me something. I'm like, all right, okay.
When you have a workflow that works, I just said if I get involved in this, it'll just become much more of a chore.
Well, that is true. Historically, I've just found patterns for you.
Just go find a pattern that I should knit, give it to me, and then I'll knit it. And at no point have I ever gone, oh, I didn't like that. It's all your fault because you picked it. I'm very easygoing when it comes to, and you're brilliant at picking the right patterns. To be honest.
Yeah. The antler pattern. Have we got a picture of it? So
there it is.
It's a lovely cabled hat, very popular on Ravelry. You know, lots and lots and lots of projects, which I thought was brilliant because, you know, it's obviously a well knitted pattern, and that just tells me that it's a really good pattern. So,
and I'm knitting it in Rowan Superwash, and this is actually it's discontinued now.
It's discontinued.
I wanted to just talk about this a little bit.
He's winding me up because I said that. Fine, go ahead.
I finished.
That's all you've got to say about that yarn.
Yeah, I did.
This is Rowan and it's Superwash. Well, that's marvellous. It is discontinued. It's been discontinued for a little while. It's this one. It's Rowan Pure Wool Aran, and it's a superwash. And it is actually very nice and soft. There's no scratch at all, is there?
No.
However, they brought out...
Nice to knit with.
Yeah, they brought out, after this one, they came out with a worsted, and I think that's called a pure wool worsted, and I have used that, and I don't think it's the same wool. It feels a little bit more scratchy to me than this one, which they discontinued. So I don't fully understand why they would do that, because this is lovely. It's got a really nice twist. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. It's nice and bouncy. It's very plump. You know, because of the high twist, it's got really nice stitch definition. I knit a jumper in this for me, actually. The Irish Coffee I've knit in this yarn, and it's just lovely. And this particular colour is number 695. It's like an olive green. So for a man, it's the perfect colour, but I understand what Dan says in that it's not as interesting as knitting with hand-dyed yarn, is it? But sometimes you knit to accommodate the person that you're giving it to, don't you?
Yeah.
And this will be perfect for him. He's got red hair, so that colour will look brilliant, I think, with his hair.
Yeah, with regards to the yarn, I mean, it feels nice to knit with. You can clearly see your stitches.
Can you hold it up?
It's not splitting.
No, yeah.
And, I mean, it's slightly halo-y.
Only a little bit.
Well, I just, you know, my hand, what can I say? I have smooth hands.
It's nothing to do with your hands, it's because of your technique. I think because you like, I think you sort of, you know, what Dan does is he'll do a stitch and then he'll pull the yarn afterwards.
They know.
Sorry.
But look how nice that looks.
Yeah, it's lovely, darling, but what I'm saying is, like that one that had cashmere in it, look, it's pilly already. And that happened with the other really soft yarn, the John Arbon. Yeah.
So
it's the very, very soft yarns.
So that I mustn't knit with those yarns.
Well, I'm not saying you mustn't knit with them, but like this one should be fine because this is a more robust yarn, and you shouldn't have a problem with that.
You use the right tool for the job in hand. My technique does not lend itself to knitting with yarns like that.
To the really, really soft yarns.
I just won't knit with those things. Yeah. Because I'm not.
I mean, you were fine. You've knit with Mad Tosh Vintage, and you were fine with that because that's a high twist. You know, that's a nice high twist. So I think the yarns which are good for you are the ones that are more of a high twist, not loosely spun, and not very, very soft or with cashmere.
You know, I'm a firm believer in your technique. Your natural technique is your natural technique.
You can't change it. You knit how you knit, don't you? And that's fine.
And if you try and change that, you know, unless you're doing something which is just wrong, then I don't think you should be changing. I think that you should accept the way you are. And
it's sometimes fun to try different ways of knitting, but I think ultimately you knit how you knit, and you know I think everybody knits slightly different, and it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating, isn't it?
So we're learning lots today. No bamboo needles. No. And no what types of yarn?
Well, it's the very soft ones. So, like the John Arbon knit by numbers is very soft. And yarns that have cashmere in, that had cashmere in, which obviously is a very short staple length, and therefore that's why it's very soft. Because what you're pulling like that every time, I think what that action is doing is basically, you know, it drags fibres off the yarn, and that's what makes it, you know, pilly, and not pilly but fluffy.
End of character assassination.
It's Hardly, is it?
Let's move on. Neil,
Let's move
Neil,
on.
I've heard a rumour that there's a new podcast starting. Yes.
I also heard this rumour. Has
you?
anyone else heard this rumour?
Is there a trailer out there for the podcast?
There might be.
There might be. And I just thought, I wonder if we could use... Now, the presenter, she's
Yes.
a lovely, lovely young girl.
Yes.
Her name is Amber.
Yes.
She's very nice. And I wonder if we could use the pair of the Bakery Bears
Do you think?
to go and see what's on her needles.
I think we might be able to do
And
that.
also as well, wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun? Because I think you'll know who it is, but you might not know...
What she looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. Until we did this. Yarn Hoarder. What's on your needles? Yay! She's here.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Fresh from her round of Knit or Forfeit, where she was an answer to a question.
She was an
Yes,
answer?
yes. We thought we needed to put a face to the name.
Yeah.
And here she is. It's the Yarn Hoarder.
Yippee!
Hello.
And we can see why you're called a Yarn Hoarder. Amber, it's as if we've done this before, which of course we haven't, but please, please could you show us this amazing array of yarn?
It's crazy back there.
Now, this must have taken years to collect.
I would like to think that it took years, but didn't.
Tell us how quickly you were able to gather this. What's the collective word for yarn?
Well, I don't know. A hoard.
A hoard, yes.
So I have been knitting for about 2.5 years.
Right.
Before that, I crocheted, and I crocheted for about 25 years. So I had a lot of acrylic yarn.
Wow.
And had never knit with anything, or had never used anything wool. And so when I started, I took a knitting class and went home knowing how to knit and do a long tail cast on. And I came back 2 weeks later with a pair of socks.
That's an
history.
amazing thing to do as your first knit, isn't it? Everybody normally says, oh, a garter stitch scarf. No. Amber does socks.
And
Amazing.
which socks did you do? Was it a particular pattern?
Oh, just a pair of vanilla socks. And I knit them for Heidi. And I knit them for myself, but they were too small for me because I didn't know how to fit things properly. I stopped too soon. I think I got excited and I just wanted them to be done. So I gave them to Heidi. And then when Heidi outgrew them, at that point I was a more experienced knitter. And so I just took scissors and cut the toes off and picked up all the stitches and knit them longer, and we still have them.
Wow.
That is so cool.
That just puts, that's like, you've just told me you steeked something. I was like, oh, got scissors.
I love it. I love the fact. I would never have thought of that. And that's the wonderful thing, isn't it? Actually about wool.
Yeah.
If a hole appears in something, like, could you do that with an arm of a sweater?
Well, in
Yeah.
theory.
Well, it depends. If you knit it top down, it's a lot easier. And so since I knit my socks cuff down, I just chopped it off and picked up all the stitches.
That is so cool. You said you crocheted for 25 years. What made you start knitting?
My sister wanted to learn to knit and was too embarrassed to go to the knitting class by herself. So I begrudgingly went because she wanted to learn how to knit socks. So I went just because she made me.
And I bet her stash
then-
is even bigger than yours, is it now?
Before the 2 weeks was up, she got about 4 rows into a dishcloth, pulled it out, said a few choice words, and told me to just make her some socks. And so she doesn't knit. She hated it. And no, so I made her a pair of mittens and a pair of socks and a sweater and a hat that first year because that's what she wanted. And then she doesn't knit. She just asks me for things. And I feel like I have to because she brought all this joy into my life.
Amber, I need to know, looking behind there looks like there is some order. Because let me tell you, if that was Kay's stash, there would be no order to any of it.
I'd take that back.
It would just be shoved in. But to me, it looks like each block has a significance.
There is an order for sure. This, for instance, this behind UK, there is a cubby full of sweater yarn that's non-superwash, but also I could make slippers out of it. Up above, between the two of you, there's no makers. This is Gnome Acres and Leading Men Fiber Arts. I'm going to kind of get in your space here. There's Leading Men Fiber Arts here.
Get off my
and
knee.
Here.
Amber, put me down.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It goes down and I have so much fun in this room though. I've got a couch over there and I just sit on the couch and face this cubby and I look at it the whole time I'm knitting and think about the next 10 things I'm going to knit.
That's what I would do.
However, it doesn't remind me of how much yarn I have and keep me from buying more though. It should, but it doesn't.
What is your favorite yarn?
It just depends on what I'm making. I really, really love Leading Men Fiber Arts yarn. It's probably my favorite. I knit all my shawls out of their yarn. I have sweater quantities that I'm making for Heidi and I because we're going to be going to Rhinebeck this year. So I'm in the middle of making RJ a sweater out of their yarn. They just have such beautiful tonals.
They do.
They have variegateds too, but I mostly use their tonals.
Do you go for a particular base?
Again, it depends on what we're using. The sweaters I do usually worsted because we're in the Midwest, and while it's very hot and humid in the summer, it is very cold and snowy in the winter. So I usually do worsted weight there. I'm working on a blanket out of their yarn. The only thing they don't do is self-striping, so I have other favorites. I have a favorite speckle dyer. You know what, clearly I love it all.
Now, I have a very important question to ask. When did you first go onto Instagram?
Maybe 2 years ago? 2 years ago, Chris?
So
Probably.
You've been knitting for 2.5 years, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you went onto Instagram, was your name immediately Yarn Hoarder?
It was.
So can I ask, how much yarn did you have when you gave yourself that name?
It fit in a little closet.
So have you purchased the yarn to live up to the name?
It's like I felt like I needed to live up to my moniker.
Let me tell you, you have succeeded. What I was going to say was, looking at your yarn, it does, for the first time ever, it was a bit of a eureka moment for me last night, because for the first time ever, I am actually now thinking about more of, it's not less about the process. The process is still really important, but for the first time ever, I was thinking about the end product. And your yarn, I agree with what you said. You said you look at that and you think of the next 10 projects. I'm with you all the way, sister.
I would just want to cast on like a billion things, but then I get overwhelmed. Do you get overwhelmed with how many things?
I'm sitting here looking at my couch over here, and there's 16 pairs of socks, I think, sitting on the couch in project bags. So yeah, I go through spurts, and then yesterday I was just kind of in a funk and didn't want to do anything, so I started to crochet. It's when you can do other crafts, it's just, there's never any downtime that way.
How have you always been someone who collects things like this, or is it yarn that has just appealed to you and has really made you get all this stuff?
I tend to go big or go home in everything. Just like for knitting the pair of socks first, I do tend to just jump right in. So that's why I don't gamble.
I mean, it's like the Atlantic Ocean of yarn, isn't it? You really have jumped right in. And do you know what? That's probably, if that is your personality, and I think actually, even when it's not your personality, when you're totally immersed in an environment like this, it makes you want to knit.
Yeah.
It does. I knit all the time. I always have it with me. I'm always doing something. So. And it makes me smile so much. If you'll notice, up on top of the shelf, I have a little book there that says, "Today I will be happier than a bird with French fry," and that is what I try to do every day.
Well, I think you're succeeding.
I like that.
We need to know though.
Can I say it?
Yes.
Amber Lindemann, what's on your needles?
Can you show us something?
Yes, right now I thought I would talk about a sock blank because Dan, I know that you
I
love
love
one.
those.
What I decided to do, I had a one-of-a-kind sock blank that didn't repeat colors at all on the way through. So it started out with a completely different color, like of the rainbow, and it completely progressed, and I knew that the socks weren't going to match at all. And so Heidi can't be bothered to match anything in her life, especially her socks. And so I decided to make her some little short socks.
Oh, they're lovely. They're so beautiful.
But I have enough. I have more than half left, so she'll actually get 4 pairs, and they'll all look completely different from one another, and then she can mix and match them as she wants.
I love it. I love shorty socks. They're just so quick, aren't they? And fun.
And then I put the contrast heel in so that they would still look like they went together when I was folding laundry. And then I have my little
I was just going to say, look at those. Where did they come from?
They came from Stitches Midwest this weekend. I went to the Fire Festival, and I thought that it looked like her dog, who we call Kevin the Skank, because he's gross. That's our Kevin sock blockers.
They're so cute. I really struggle to find wooden sock blockers over here. There's one shop in London that sells them, but they're really expensive for some reason. You just don't see them very often at all. They're all plastic.
They make me smile. I try to go with the things, and those were just too cute.
I'm so interested in Stitches Midwest. Was that really fun?
I had such a good time. I try to go every year. This is my 3rd year. Heidi went with me last year. This year I helped in a booth, and so she stayed home. She was a little sad about that, but I had such a good time. Bought lots of knot yarn. I bought wool-related items, but not yarn.
You didn't buy any?
Yeah! It's Chewbacca.
He looks real.
That is just perfect.
I love his tooth.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like baby Chewbacca.
Cute.
I love it.
I bought lots of fiber related things like that, but I didn't buy a lot of yarn, which was fine. Clearly, I didn't.
Amber, now I'm impressed with that Chewbacca, but I bet you didn't buy an absolutely huge R2-D2.
I can't imagine she did.
Wow! Look at that. That's so cool. I mean, that is so amazing.
It is amazing.
Goodness.
Let me show the tag. I got them from Wool Buddy. They had a booth there, but they do sell online as well. And they sell kits, so you can make your own.
Wow.
WoolBuddy.com.
And I've never wool felted. I've always wanted to go. And I never have. So.
Heidi loves to wool felt. Right now we are working on, yesterday we started some house plants.
I saw.
And they're so cute because what we do is we do the house plant, but then when you pull them out, the dirt has a face. So there's a little secret in the pots.
What's what called?
What is that called? That's felted wool, is it?
It's wool felting. Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Needle felted.
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
So for instance, this is what we're working towards. It's going to be a cactus.
Right. Oh, look at that.
So cute.
And so
it's making me think of Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
So I started out with some white on the middle so that it didn't, I wasn't wasting the colored. You use this little bitty needle that has barbs. Can you see those barbs?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And you just and the needle, the wool grabs itself and starts to compact. And so I've got my dirt done, and then now I'm working on my cactus body. It just takes some time. It's a lot of fun.
I was going to say, it looks super fun.
It does look super fun.
It is.
We've got a friend whose daughter she's just 15, and recently she stepped on a felting needle.
Oh my.
And it went into her foot and snapped. So about half of the felting needle was stuck in her foot, and they thought it wasn't there because she wasn't in pain or anything. Walked around on it for a day, and then the next day she said, "Do you know what? I think it's still in there."
Did she have to have it taken out?
She did. She had to have surgery, and it was really precarious because it was right next to a nerve in her foot. And they said if they hadn't got it, you know, it could have nicked that nerve and affected her whole foot.
No, thank you. Amber, how did you get so famous on Instagram?
I just, I try to take pictures of the pretty yarn.
Aren't you a bit of a photographer as well?
I used to be, back before my kids were the age they are now. We had a business that we ran, and it was successful, but we chose to close. My husband has another business. I chose to close my business, and we homeschool the kids. Chose to let the business go, and we had a nice run with it, but we felt like we needed to go down a different path.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We know all about different paths.
We do know all about different paths. That's absolutely true.
And do you know what? There's no better investment than in your kids.
No, absolutely.
I mean, I am so thankful for this decision that we took when Bryony was born, in
Yeah.
that you've always been there
I
as a mum.
stopped work when Bryony was born because I couldn't. I mean, you know, the norm I think these days is, you know, you stay off for 4 months maybe, and then just put your baby into a nursery and go back to work. And I couldn't do that at all.
No.
In America, I think it's between 6 and 12 weeks, depending on your work. And
really?
so some people go back after 6 weeks, yeah, which would be really hard.
You reap what you sow, don't you?
Yeah.
So, you know, good for you for doing what you did. And I just imagine, I'm guessing that the photography and all of that was happening before all of this?
Yeah, oh yeah. This maybe filled that void. And so, but yeah, I just try to take pictures. Well, and I knit a lot. And so I think maybe people like seeing lots of things
lots
being
of
finished.
different things, and your animals as well is always lovely.
And the fact that I have 5,000 things on the needles makes people feel better, I think.
Do you ever get overwhelmed?
Oh, occasionally. I'll go through a period where I just need to finish things.
Yeah,
and
me
so,
too. Me too.
That's how you get over that overwhelmed feeling, is that you just go, right, okay, I'm just going to focus in on whatever I'm furthest on and get that finished.
Or just close your eyes and start something new.
Yeah, don't look at it.
Do you ever hide projects away?
No, not really. I did, like, RJ's sweater is kind of in hibernation right now because it's really warm here and we don't have central air in the house. And so this house is very old. And when we renovated it, we chose not to add central air and lose the ceiling space and the closet space and everything. And so it's fine unless you want to have a grown man's worsted weight sweater on your lap, and then it's not fine. Certain things get kind of put to the wayside, you know, at certain times of year, but I don't usually hide them. If I fall out of love with it, I'll just pull it out.
So how warm is it normally for you in the summer?
An average summer, usually the hottest it gets in an average summer is usually 95 degrees.
Oh,
What's that to us?
gosh, what's that to us? In the 30s, high 30s.
Wow.
This summer has been horrible. And we have broke over 100, I don't know how many times, and the feels like temperature is like 110, 115. But the problem is the humidity.
I was going to say, is it humid?
Oh, and like right now, I'm I'm glistening.
No, you're glowing.
So glowing.
Yes, that's what it is.
And it's actually quite
We'll
cool.
pretend.
It's quite cool here today.
Don't say
I
that
know,
to
isn't that awful? I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine because, you know, there aren't too many places in the world that you can have a super cool, beautiful spring, a summer where you can run around in shorts and a tank top and swim and do everything, and then you have the beautiful fall with the changing leaves, and then in the winter we get beautiful white snow so we get 4 full seasons.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna complain, but I don't mean it.
No. I do think, we talk about this a lot, because I think British people do tend to talk about the weather a lot, but we also touch on it too, because I think we always try, when we talk about if we're feeling it because of the weather, that it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And I think if you're anywhere, if we suddenly took what you're used to and we shot the temperature up the next day, or dropped it, you feel it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's your winters I'm most jealous of.
Yeah, because I don't think we've had snow for about 3-4 years maybe, really. It didn't snow at all last year, did it?
And see, up in like Minnesota, I have some friends in Minnesota, and of course they get snow that I don't even know how they get out of their houses. And so I can't complain here. Every day you have to be happier than a French fry. Or a French fry.
And your state, I was being really interested in American states recently. We did a little car journey thing, didn't we, coming back from holiday, and we tried to name all 50 states.
We did very well.
Without Googling or
So
anything.
I don't know if I learned it at school or if I learned it at sleepaway camp, but I actually learned all 50 states alphabetically in a song. And so I taught that to my kids too. So I know it's easier for me to know them than it is for you guys, but it's just a fun little song. I'll spare you, I won't sing it.
Oh.
Well, we got 46, I think. We got 46.
You did very well.
That's impressive.
Well, Amber, we're going to have to let you go. I'm so sorry to do this because this has been such a joy.
It has.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's been the best. And if ever any of this disappears, I haven't snuck in and taken it. It wasn't me.
We may do that.
So, it's now time for us to find out. Kay Jones.
Yes.
What's on your needles?
Yay! I finished one of Dan's socks. Do you know in the yarn that I dyed, the Fireside knitting colourway, I've put it on a sock blocker, but obviously it's massive for the sock blocker. Well, look. Boom, ends there.
So I knit too tight. I've got a big head, I've got big feet.
We all have our faults, darling.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Yes.
I've got many. I never said I didn't have any. Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
So here's the first sock.
We need the Spicy Homemaker podcast for some marriage counselling.
We do, don't we? Having a domestic. We didn't have. When have we ever
Never.
had a domestic?
Never ever. Spicy Homemaker, we need you. Give us marital advice.
Melissa, I can't control
And if you're
it.
wondering why I'm saying that, it's because she was worried that I can't remember where she put it, but it was so funny.
I think people were questioning what her podcast was about.
Is it
weren't
about
they?
cooking? Spicy Homemaker.
Or
Is it about marital advice?
Is it like marital advice? Yeah, Spicy Homemaker.
It's a knitting podcast.
How funny. Here's a sock. So I finished one lovely sock. And I cast on straight away, literally the second I finished the first one, I cast on the second one. The only thing I'm doing differently, and it's not really doing differently, is I've changed the needle I was using. I was using a ChowGoo Magic Loop, and I love the needles. You all know I love ChowGoos. However, and it must be to do with the stiff cable, I was getting, it's not a ladder as such, it's just like an untidy stitch. Can you see here? There's
Do you
like
prefer?
a line.
So,
And I didn't like that. And I think it must be because the stiffness of the cable, you can't quite get that closeness.
do you prefer like a floppy cable?
I think I do for
Right.
Magic Loop. I think I probably do because I've gone back
It's
to.
easier to manage and handle.
I think so, and I don't get any sort of lines at all using this one, and I'm using an Addy. They're not called sock rockets in
It's
this
funny though, isn't
country.
it? Because not to harp on about those bamboo ones, but the cable on that, whilst being floppy,
It was
very difficult to manage.
Yeah, and I'll show you that needle. It's a,
So what you need is a manageable cable,
well, I think this one's pretty good. This
one that you
one's
can manipulate.
It's an Addy, and I think these
This
are
one?
called. Yeah, I think these are called turbos in the US, but here I think not turbos. They're called sock rockets in the US, and I think here they're just called turbos. I think I've got that the right way around. Anyway, it's the lace tip. It's the sort of pointy one, and it's the cables. I'm not having a problem with it, and this is a needle I used a lot for knitting Dan's socks, so I cast it on with this and it seemed to go very quickly. I've just done a bit of the cuff and the leg, and I'm not getting any issues here at all, and I'm just finding it much easier. So I think the conclusion is that I love ChowGoos and I'm using them on various projects, and I love them particularly for shawls where you've got a lot of stitches on. That stiff cable is really nice. So yeah, I've got this cast on, and I worked on this sock for about 3 days monogamously. I just wanted to get this first sock done and this one cast on, and then I knit all this, I think, really in one. I think I got the rib done one evening, and then I just knit this much the next day, and then I wanted to knit on something else, so I thought, I'll pop that away and pick it up in a few days. So I do now want to get on and finish this for the next podcast. I will say I want to get this pair finished. So yeah, and I should have I've got plenty of yarn, which is brilliant because I want to have some of this left to put into blankets. And I haven't started, I've got the Disney blanket on the go obviously, but I haven't started another mitered square blanket, and I do have a hankering to start a new one, so I think I might be doing that. So as normal, I'm doing these on 2.5mm for Dan and 72 stitches.
What else is on my needles? Well,
You ask yourself.
I will tell you. It's the most Christmassy project in the history of Christmas.
Yeah.
And
It's
why
very
is that the
Christmassy.
case? Because of this.
It's very good.
This is No Maker's yarn,
It is.
and it is in just.
I can't remember the colourway name. It's one of her Christmas colourways that I think she just posted on Instagram that she's going to be doing them again and putting them in the shop, but I can't remember the name of this one.
It's just the business.
Yeah.
I look at this and I start hearing the theme tune to Christmas Vacation in my head. Look how it's knitting up. It's just
Very
so
fun, isn't it?
lovely.
It's very fun.
And this is going to be for my niece.
And she's about 9 or 10, is she? I forget. She's a bit younger than Bryony, isn't she?
Is she?
Oh no, is she a year older? No,
Yeah.
she's a year older.
Yeah. I could not imagine. Kay pulled out, there was a couple of different yarn choices, wasn't there, that you pulled out for me?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a competition. It was this one all the way.
I've had this for a couple of, gosh, it might even be 3 years I've had this.
This is great yarn.
I never
the
used
base,
it.
just
It's
feel
lovely.
it.
I know, it's lovely. It's a worsted. I can't remember the name of the base because I'd lost the tag, unfortunately. I'd wound it that long ago. And I said to Dan it might pull, but he's doing the Violet Waffles hat, aren't you? Did you say that? I can't
Yeah.
remember. So
No, I didn't say that. You gave it away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm knitting the Violet Waffles hat,
I'm sorry.
which I've done once before for Kate, and she got it out the other day, and she was like, "What's wrong?"
You're pulling from the middle.
Oh no,
Did you know that?
that's a bad idea, isn't it?
Well, it's fine. I don't pull from the middle, but it's fine.
I don't know how I suddenly decided that I was going to do a Violet Waffles, and it just
I
suddenly
don't
came
know.
to
You
me.
just said you
Just
wanted to
came
do
me.
it, didn't you?
Yes, you dug out the one that I knit you, and you were like, "Oh, I love this hat." Weren't you?
Yeah, you said to me, "Oh, I knit you one of these." I'm like, "You did?"
You said, "Oh, it must be in the basket."
And it was, of course, with 5 million other hats. But I did have it on yesterday. It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's a handspun one, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's handspun. Yeah.
But I recall not disliking knitting it. So it
I
seemed
recall not disliking knitting it.
I didn't dislike knitting it.
Right.
So you know, like when I knit the Declan's first time, I didn't enjoy it very much. When I knit it second time, as you'll see in a bit, whilst I enjoyed it, I made mistakes. I mean, I actually did a better job first time, which is annoying.
Maybe because you were paying a bit more attention, do you think?
I was paying attention. I was paying so much attention that I didn't even need to look at the pattern.
Okie dokie.
But maybe that is paying less attention. But I was paying more attention because it was in my brain, and I've got the stitches right. It's just not as tidy as the first one. And I'm telling you, I'm a looser knitter now than I was then.
Gosh, really?
I am.
Right.
I'm a way looser knitter than I was.
I don't think you are.
Well,
All right.
I've got to say, I disagree.
Okay then.
Got cracking on this one, and my plan is, hopefully, I'll have this finished in 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks?
Yes.
Right.
Because that's how quick I finished the last yet.
Oh, okay. I thought there was some kind of time scale on it.
No, I've just cast off 2 hats, as you'll see later. And I started this 4 weeks ago.
Right.
And I've just casted on 2 hats. And if I can finish those in 4 weeks, that's going to make me feel very sort of confident about getting more Christmas knitting done. Come on!
Amazing.
This is so cool. So, lovely yarn, great base, worsted as Kay said. I'm not sure of the colourway name. Violet Waffles hat, which is going to look lovely in this yarn.
Yeah.
Pooling, I don't think is going to really matter, but I don't know, there seems to be like a stripe forming
There's
there.
kind of like a swirl forming, there is.
Which would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, please show us. What else is on your needles?
Well, I thought I might show you my hap shawl because I didn't last time and I have made a fair bit of progress on it. So this is I'm doing the half version of the Hansel hap by Gudrun Johnston, and that's a little picture of it. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Now I did obviously have a complete change of heart on the colours for the border because that was always going to happen, wasn't it? And I just decided that because the main colour I'm using is this beautiful blue, the yarn I'm using is Blacker Yarns, and it's their Blacker Swan Falkland Islands 4-ply, and the main colour I'm using is this one, which is Seafoam. It's the prettiest blue, honestly, it's just beautiful. Now, because this one was Seafoam, and I was thinking about an upcoming trip that we've got in a couple of weeks, you know, that's by the seaside kind of thing, I thought it might be nice to make it a kind of seaside theme. Not even seaside, coastal, that's the word, a coastal theme. So I ordered three more different colours. to put into the border, and these are the colours that I'm using. So the first one, I had this one in stash, but the first one is Sand, and that is just a lovely sandy colour. And then I got Cinnamon Grass, which is it's a difficult colour to describe, this one. On screen there, it just looks like a sort of taupey beigey colour. It's not. It's got a sort of olivey greeny tint to it, but it's really lovely. So we've got Cinnamon Grass, and then I'm knitting with this one now, but we've got Pebble, another perfect name. And then the final one is Dolphin. So another coastal name. So the only one that isn't kind of coastal is Cinnamon Grass. That's the 4 colours that I'm using on the border, and I think they all look really nice together, you know, with the blue. So I have completed the triangle. This is going to be awkward to show you because it's kind of scrunched up. I think I should have a longer cable. But I completed the triangle. You can see this blue is the triangle. And there, it looks a bit weird because what you then do is all the live stitches you pop onto waste yarn. So I've got all of these on waste yarn. And then you go and pick up stitches along the 2 sides of the triangle. So that's one side, and you can see this is where I picked up stitches here. And in the pattern, she gives you 2 different ways you can pick up those loops down the side. One of them, she said, produces like a distinct eyelet, and the other one gives you a crisscross pattern. So I went with the crisscross, and I'll hold it. So can you see here? There's like a crisscrossy sort of pattern. And then you do these eyelets in the same main colour, and then you go on to the border. So I've started the kind of feather and fan pattern, and I'm on to the second colour there. And again, in the pattern's brilliant. It gives you 2 different colour sequences for the border. I looked at one colour sequence is the one that's on the pattern, and then the other colour sequence, when I looked at the sequence of colours, what it does is it goes from dark to light or light to dark, depending on how you knit it, and then back the other way. So I thought, because I've got this coastal theme, I thought it might look like, you know, the sort of sea colour, but then if you think of waves coming in onto a beach, it does look dark in the distance, doesn't it? The sea can look dark, then washing up onto the sand. And because I've got dark sort of greys running into sandy colours, I thought that might work. So I'm really enjoying the pattern. I'm having to concentrate on the lace rows only because there's quite a large number of stitches on, and I don't want to mess up the repeats. So I do have to concentrate, but it's only on that 1 row out of about 6, I think, that you're doing. So I'm really, really loving it, and I think it's going to be beautiful with the blue and then that lace, you know, those colours that I've chosen. So I'm really glad I changed my mind on that. And I am using a ChiaoGoo fixed for this. So for this, you know, project, it's brilliant because we've got all of these stitches on and it just holds them really nicely. So I'm really enjoying that, and I'm going to be doing another knit along with Kay next week for the patrons, just to go into I'll go into a bit more detail, and by then, you know, I'll be further on as well. So there we go.
Thanks. It's
Thanks.
It's a bankhead. I don't know if anyone follows Knit Natural, who is of course Susie Gawley, who designed this head.
Of course they do.
On Instagram, because she has just got a new nephew, I think.
Oh yeah,
she knitted him
She
a bankhead.
did. He's so tiny.
And it's minute. He's like a tiny bankhead. It's so cool. This is my huge bankhead for me, and it's close to the decreases. It's taking me a bit longer to knit this because I feel guilty when I knit on this, because
Why?
I just feel like at the moment I should be knitting on things for other people. I don't really like knitting for myself. I shouldn't knit for myself.
No, you don't knit for yourself, really.
No
at
more
all,
knitting for
do
me,
you?
knitting for everyone else. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I much prefer knitting for other people as well.
But it is the lovely Dreams in Fibre yarn. It's the BB8 colourway. It's lovely hand spun. and I have established that I'm going to have to knit the new decreases because on the Susie updated the pattern. Previously there was only one size, which was 100 stitches, and now there are a range of sizes, and I've knit the top one. I don't know why I did that.
Right.
Because I've always knit 100.
It's because that yarn's thinner.
Right. So I've cast on 110 stitches, so I'm going to have to do the new decreases.
Right.
So I'll be trying out the new decreases, so effectively the new bankhead pattern, and I will let you know how I go on the next episode, because I'm sure...
You're not far off the decreases there,
No, not too far. I mean, it just takes longer, doesn't it, because it's thin yarn.
Well, there's more stitches, yeah, that's why.
And more stitches. It's definitely wool.
Yeah. Do you know what fibre it was?
It's wool.
Oh, you're next to useless. And what is going on in here?
I had a tidy up the other day.
John Arbon's labels in here. This is where they will have been when we were looking for them.
What
it's
is it?
Superwash BFL.
Ah, right, okay. Lovely hat.
You're nearly back to like the black.
Nearly back to the black, which would be a nice way to do the decreases and to finish off.
It's very soft.
And hopefully I'll be close to, if not finished, by next time. We'll see how we go. I am very focused though on the whole Bakery Bears Handmade Christmas.
You are, yeah. And
yes.
I do tend to shove things for myself to the back of the queue, I think, as well. I don't. And the last thing I've got to show you is it's a pair of socks for me. And then, well, yes, I think they'll be for me. And it's what I've just said to Dan. Actually, these have been pushed to the side because other things, you know, seemed more important than just finishing a pair of socks for me. And you know, sometimes I think you should raise your own priorities, you know, a little bit, shouldn't you?
Well,
but
I don't know.
I finished one of the. Socks.
It's an interesting question. My natural reaction, though, is no, you shouldn't.
No, I know some people, you know, do just knit for themselves, and that's fantastic.
Great.
But historically, I think I enjoy projects more and get through them quicker when they're for someone else, because I'm constantly thinking, oh, they're going to love this, and I can't wait to give it to them. And I much prefer that feeling than just knitting something for myself. But, you know, everybody's different.
The best people to knit for are people...
other knitters.
No. The best people to knit for, personally, are people who do not knit. And you can introduce to them...
Right, okay.
Appreciate, totally.
Yeah.
But you can also introduce to them how wonderful it is to have a lovely hand knit.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to get the colour right and the project right, and so many.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so hard to do, and that's why then
hard,
that you get so excited about it.
Maybe, yeah. But anyway, I finished one of the socks, and these are in the yarn that I dyed myself. This one's Quirrell's Secret, Harry Potter reference, and I think it came out really lovely. For some reason, it ended up a little bit longer than it normally is. And I knit the same number of rounds, so maybe the yarn base is just a little bit thicker. I used Drops Fable, and I just dyed 2 50-gram skeins up just to try out the colourway when I first dyed this up, and I think it looks lovely. The way I really like, you know, there's no pooling or anything. It's just these little speckles of the red through the purple, different shades of purple. Really like it. So that's the first one, and then the second one is up to, I'm just about to start the heel flap. And again, I've switched knitting methods several times on this one. I started them both on DPNs, but then for some reason this time I was getting a ladder, and I don't normally get a ladder with DPNs. I don't know. So anyway, I switched this towards the end onto a magic loop, and maybe that's then why it came out a bit longer thinking about it, because my tension is different, isn't it? Anyway, they still fit me, they're absolutely fine. So that one was Quirrell's Secret.
Quirrell's Secret. It's Quirrell's Secret.
I've got to the point of not being able to speak.
It's a secret, mummy.
And then the other colour is the Chatsworth Gold, which is this incredibly vibrant, sunny yellow with flecks of gold, and that's just, it's actually more gold. That's coming up very yellow. So this is the other one, and like I said, I'm just about to start the heel flap. And again, I love how you've just got these lovely speckles of the darker gold running through. I think it's really nice. So I do just want to just whiz through this now and get this second one finished, and I was just wondering whether to give them as a gift to someone, but I will probably keep them because it's yarn I dyed myself, and it's one of the first yarns that I dyed, so that's kind of nice, isn't it, to have something of your first sort of dyed yarn. So I will keep them myself, I think. And I'm using, for this one, they're not bamboo, they are, I think it's birch, isn't it? These are the Knit Pick Sunstruck. It's definitely not bamboo, it's much harder than bamboo, and I think it's the same wood that's used for the harmonies or symphonies, and I think it's birch. But they're really nice needles, these ones, and they are, for wood, they are, you know, quite nice and slick.
Are you all done then?
Yes.
Have you finished?
I think so.
Good. A few weeks ago,
yeah,
we did something very not like us.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
We did, and it was tricky. We nearly didn't go. More me than Kay, which was weird. I just... anxiousness. Anxiety. I prefer my way. Anxiousness is...
Oh, it's a monster.
It is a monster.
It is. It's an absolute monster.
And... you know, we really wanted to go to Yarndale because the year that I started my treatment, the year that I got ill and diagnosed, and we were going to go, and we had a whole meet-up planned, and it was all going to be lovely, and then I got ill, and so I think an element of association with that came with me being ill, so that sort of put us off last year. But also as well, we're just not very good around lots of people.
No, neither of us are, to be honest.
No.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that are like that. I just get overwhelmed. I just get really, really overwhelmed when there's a lot of people, and that did just make us both a bit anxious about going, didn't it?
Yeah, you were great though on the day.
I was really good.
And I wasn't.
No.
I didn't want to go.
You didn't really want to go, no.
We had copious toilet stops along the route.
We did, but it was fine, and
we're very glad we went.
We're very glad we went, and actually, I felt really good.
It was great for Kay and great for me. I enjoyed it every minute of it.
I'd been having
once I was there.
I've been having a spell of feeling really good the sort of 2 weeks running up to it, and the past week I've been having a not very good spell. But I think that's really how it goes, isn't it? And I think just the fact that I've been having better spells is a positive, and I've got to really focus on that. Because although you have kind of setbacks and you do feel like you're back to square one with it, you're not back to square one because you've done all those things.
Because we went to Yarndale.
Yeah, and we went to Yarndale, and I was
and the best
fine.
Bit
and
of all of it is
I really enjoyed it, and I did really enjoy it, and I didn't think I would. I thought I would just be completely like a stress head.
But we don't need to talk about it. Because we can take you with us. Yes. Would you like to go?
Do you want to?
Well, let's go then. We're here!
Yay!
Now, I wish I knew what those sheep were.
I know.
They were lovely. They were just, as we're walking out, they're just down on our right-hand side. And look at the bus.
Look at the bus.
Does that run? It runs in and out, Skipton?
It does. It's the Yarndale. You can see it's like the Yarndale Express.
Oh, look.
And yeah, it runs backwards and forwards. It was a bit breezy.
Yeah, it was. And this is the walk now directly into the auction market.
Yes.
Now, this is where they auction livestock, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so it's a perfect place for having.
Can you see the Portaloos?
Yeah,
oh dear.
And a lovely little coffee cart. And did you get something from there?
We did, the little thingy that you can see, the finger puppets, we did, yeah.
Now we came in through the back entrance, I think, didn't we?
We did.
And this is the first view you get, which isn't the prettiest.
It's not the best view in the world, no.
I think that the other end is sort of seen as the main.
It is what it is,
So this was our first stroll down the first aisle.
Ripples Crafts.
Are they good?
Yeah, it's a Scottish, I believe they're based in Scotland, yeah. Lovely yarn.
So many colours.
It was very, very colourful, yeah.
Really vibrant, and it seemed more colourful than when we went before. There seemed to be a lot more indie things going on.
I'd agree with that, definitely, yeah. And there's lots of other things. Look, I saw lots of
felting,
those.
isn't it?
It's felting, yeah. I saw lots of that. And Bryony just wanted to buy the little things, but you couldn't. You had to buy the kits, so she wasn't happy. Knitting Goddess.
Yay!
Yay, and I bought one of those mini skein packs you can see there.
Maybe the one you bought's there.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's that one right there. Beautiful yarn.
It is, and so colourful.
Very, very colourful, yeah, really beautiful.
So what we did was, and we're actually taking you exactly on the route that we took. We walked up and down the aisles.
We did.
And then we did go back again and go to some specific shops that you'd spotted. That was your plan of attack, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just thought we'd sort of look around the whole thing before we'd bought anything, and then, you know, tried to be a bit sensible about it.
And did you get something from here? No, it was...
No, it was a different stall that looked very similar to that. Bryony bought a little handmade giraffe.
Oh, look! There's Kay and Rachel Coopy.
There's Rachel Coopy and me.
Do you remember we had Rachel Coopy on for an interview really recently, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was lovely to see her again.
It was lovely. We had a little cuddle. It was lovely.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And look at his tank top.
Wow, Dan wants a tank top, everybody.
Now, do you think that was a hand-knit tank top?
Probably, I would have thought so.
It better be. They should have people on the door, shouldn't they?
They should.
Checking you.
Look, this is where I bought my lace weight. It's Fibre Space.
Neil, but remember, look, there is
that's
Bryony.
That's the one that Bryony wanted me to get. Did you see?
Yes. So she went, I said to Bryony, you need to go and have a look and see if you can pick something you think Mummy would like. And that's the one she went straight for, but then you changed. This is where we got Bryony's thing from, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was. I'm not sure. I'll tell you in a minute. Hers was like up on a corner. I don't know if it was. Oh, it might have been. Yes, I think it was that stand. It was a little giraffe that was made in Africa. It was really sweet.
And she loves it, doesn't she?
She does love it, yeah.
Yeah. And what impressed me so much was how many different types of stall there were. There was just so much going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it be, that was sewing, wasn't it? That was tapestry things that we just saw then a minute ago.
It was like embroidery.
Yeah, embroidery, sorry.
Yeah,
I always forget the name. Was this the giant, because there was Woolly Mahusiv.
Woolly Mahusiv. Yeah, which was like giant knitting, you know, when I say giant, I mean massive.
Now, I did get some pictures of some of the needles from there, so we will know when we get there, because we only spoke about that, didn't we? We said, can you get huge circulars?
Yeah.
Neil, what was she looking at there?
She was looking at all the little felted, you could buy those, all the little felted, and I think there was some felted and some sort of crocheted. But she decided that she wanted to go back and get that giraffe. So this was in the sort of browsing period, I think. Oh, look! Alpacas!
But then the guy...
They look weird when they've been shorn like that.
The guy came over and started getting really rough with one, didn't he?
Well, he took one of the baby ones over to a small child that was on the left because they wanted to stroke them. So he just kind of grabbed hold of it. And pulled it over, the poor little thing.
You're going to see him appear, actually. Here he comes.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
This was the moment. I actually edited it out because I was that disturbed by it.
Yeah, he obviously didn't hurt them.
No, it must be the right way to treat them.
5 Moons. Look, I bought a few minis from there. Beautiful yarn.
Look at those colours.
I know, really, really pretty.
That's what you want to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to see...
It draws you in, definitely.
It does. Exciting, vibrant, gets you over, and, you know, it certainly makes me... Oh, well, I talk enough about it now. Beautiful looking colours.
Cuddle bums.
I love that.
How cute.
So is that... Do you know who they are?
I didn't buy anything there. No, I'm not sure if they're based in Yorkshire.
And this was what was so nice, seeing things like this, new things that we'd never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I was pointing out how much that little bundle of minis was. I thought it was a bit expensive, and there I put it back because I thought it was a bit dear.
Now, this was... Yes.
It's Julie.
Yeah, hopefully she's going to be there. I'm sure I left that little bit in because there was you stood there talking to her. She says, "Oh, is this? I think this is her." There she is. Look, she's going to look now. Let's have a listen.
Is this?
Yeah, look. Oh, that's so funny.
I didn't know Dan was filming, you see. I was looking at... That's where I bought the opal for Dan, the DK weight.
All right. Which one?
for you to knit with. It's like a grey and a blue. It's really pretty.
I want to see it again. I forgot which one it is.
All right.
Look at that stuff.
Yeah, it's Easy Knits.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, their yarns are very, very beautiful, but they're very, very bright. As you can see, there's lots and lots of really, really bright colours.
Look at that green.
Yeah, and I guess I must have been in a more subdued mood.
There they
Oh,
are.
there they are, the huge circulars. They're massive, aren't they?
Woolly Mahusive.
But they were quite small compared to the actual, because look at the ball of yarn up there.
Yeah.
It wasn't even yarn.
It's the giant sheep.
Oh, there's the giant sheep. Yeah.
And there's a dog in the background as well. I didn't get too much
Oh, handspun.
Yes. There was an awful lot, and that was lovely to see.
It was beautiful, yeah.
A wall
Felt
of
Studio
handspun.
UK, that was it.
Right. And I mean, I'm sure that we did not see that when we went before.
No, because
No.
you looked specifically, I think, for handspun the last time we went, didn't you? Maybe that was at the one in Wales. Not Wales.
No, I know what you mean, the Lake District.
Yeah, the Lake District one.
I was that excited, I did get quite a lot of footage of this.
Yes.
And there's a lady... Oh, look!
Oh, now those are the sheep that belong to, is it Daughter of a Shepherd?
Yes!
Is that what it's called?
It is, it totally is.
Yeah.
And she had a little stand that we're going to get to in
She did.
just a moment.
She had some yarn there.
Her story is amazing, isn't it?
It
I mean,
is.
it's beginning to end, the whole journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shears it, spins it. And,
Yeah, there you go.
Now, does she dye it, or is it just
No,
the
no, it's
colour?
natural. That's
Right.
that's the natural colour.
Of course. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. On Christmas lights.
Aww.
Yes.
Yay.
You always improve your stand with a few Christmas lights, I
Fairy
think.
lights, can't beat them.
Yeah. Now, what are we looking at there, Kate?
Yes, this is Blacker yarn.
Ah, there we go.
And there I am talking to Sonia.
At last.
Yay!
A face to a name.
Yep.
And we loved that, me and Bryony.
Oh, the little rocking horse. I
Yeah.
never saw that because I was just yabbitting away.
I told her to get on and have a ride, but she wouldn't do it.
Oh, no, it's a bit small, really, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a big stand.
It was a big stand and it was very, very busy, as it rightly should be, because, I love Blacker.
They had lots of really interesting projects as well that had been knitted up.
Yeah.
I was having a look at a hat that was, I think, was partially... Was it Fisherman's Rib? No, it was brioche.
Brioche, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
And really, really nice colours there.
Beautiful. I think that's the St Kilda, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And that gold, is that gold at the top? It is, isn't it? Yeah, I love that gold. I picked that up and had a good old play with it.
Yeah,
That sounds
lovely.
completely wrong.
Oh, these were bonkers.
Kits.
Yeah, they were kits.
If we'd been able to buy them, we
and-
probably would have
Yeah,
bought
we
one.
probably would have just bought, because Bryony just wanted to buy one of the heads, and you just hang them on the wall. But they were kits, and actually they were pretty expensive, the kits.
Yeah,
But they're just really fun.
yeah.
Bryony thought they were hilarious.
All in all, it was a pretty wonderful trip.
It was.
I
yeah, we had a
enjoyed it.
really-
I enjoyed it start to finish. We didn't get tired, did we?
No.
And there was so much to see. So, and of course,
they were lovely, the bowls. That's where I bought that little basket, but I
You
wish
did.
I'd bought one of those bowls.
yeah, they're very pretty.
They're lovely, aren't they?
So this was Yarndale 2016.
Yay!
And yeah, we had a thoroughly enjoyable time. If you get the opportunity to go, what do we say?
Get yourself off.
Do it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
Did you enjoy it?
Yarndale.
It was really good, actually, and there was some brilliant yarn dyers there.
Yes.
And
So much better than the first year. So well done to everyone on the putting it together.
Oh, the organisation of it, you mean?
The organisation, the stands, everything was better.
We went on the Sunday. It ran the Saturday and the Sunday, and people that had been there said go on the Sunday, it's less busy, which is what we did. And we parked, no problem whatsoever.
No, it's very good.
Didn't have to queue to get in. It was all fine.
Yeah.
And it was busy, but it was manageable busy, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Out and About will return the next time we go somewhere that you might like to come along with us and have a little look around.
Oh, I wonder where we're going. We've not spoke about that.
Well, I have a plan,
Oh, okay.
and I'll share it with you.
Oh.
Do you remember that Christmas fair we went to at Bowes Museum?
Yes.
Why don't we go out and about there?
Oh, that would be brilliant. When do you know when it's on?
Well,
No.
it'll be on around Christmas, so we can stick it out on one of the Christmas episodes.
Oh, you'll really love it. It was a few years ago.
There was reindeer.
It was before you were ill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it must be about 4 years ago, I reckon.
But it's famous though, they have it every year.
Yeah, and it's at Bowes Museum, which is in Barnard Castle. Bowes Museum is a huge building, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a permanent museum that's there all the time, but it has different exhibits through the year. And we've been a few times, haven't we?
But it's a traditional
it's
English
really nice.
Christmas market.
Yeah.
There's always loads going on, and I thought that might be something that you might quite like to see.
Do you want to
It'll
come
be
and feed the
very festive.
reindeer with us?
Yes, let's do it. So that will be the next time we go out and about with you. So before the end of the year, which will be super cool. It's now time for what's in your sweetie jar.
Oh, that's yummy.
And there's actually something savoury in our sweetie jar. And this is thanks to Lucia. Now, Lucia sent us some Hawaiian treats.
Hawaiian.
And these are crackseed, etc.
Do you think that's the place that they're from?
Maybe. But
I'm not sure.
they
What
are
does it
rice,
say there?
soy sauce, sugar, salt and soybeans.
I think that's what they are.
Right,
2
right.
ounces of something I can't read.
And they're from Camuella. So I think we should crack into this
Okay.
and see what they're like. So this is a whole new world for us. I've never tried anything from Hawaii before, and I've never seen anything quite like this before.
It's like a kind of crackery sort of thing.
Ooh!
Oh, it smells a bit. It's like a sort of crackery thing.
Should we try it?
Oh, it's hard.
That tastes like something from Spain. I've had something like
I'm
that
sorry,
before.
it's so crunchy. Oh, it's very strange.
When I used to go to Spain every year, my parents used to buy something.
I don't
and
know
it
how to
tasted
describe that.
very savoury.
Very savoury, but there was a sweet edge.
There is, I think there's sugar.
Sugar, there is a bit of sugar.
I think the coating
Right.
might have a sugar coating.
It's a bit like
It's very pleasant.
rice cakey, the flavour.
Mm.
It's a bit like a hard rice cake.
Right.
Oh, it's not unpleasant. It's the kind of thing that you might nibble on
At a party.
at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Nibbles. Very pleasant.
Very pleasant.
Actually,
Very
probably
unusual.
one of the most palatable things that we've had for a while.
It is
I mean,
like
it's the type of thing you
it
could just
reminds
keep.
me of a very savoury rice cake, but hard.
Yeah.
I love rice cakes.
Yeah, yeah. So this is, we've got to give this a score. So the Hawaiian crackseed, whatever the writing is, 3.
3 maybe, yeah.
Because it is definitely the type of thing. If it was a warm day, you got the American football on or whatever sport you enjoy watching, and you're having a drink, that in a little bowl,
Definitely, yeah.
very pleasant, or with a glass of wine. Now these, I'll be honest.
Gosh, they're huge.
I'll be honest. I'm a little bit worried about these.
So these are from Australia.
Yes, thanks to Nicole. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Dark fruit chocks.
Yeah, and what bothers me about these
Chocolate and
is
fruit.
they're filled with real apricot and peach centres.
Good heavens.
Now,
We're not normally chocolate and fruit people, are we? The two mixed together.
neither of those fruits are fruits that I particularly enjoy.
Peach and apricot.
Yeah.
You like dried apricots?
I do.
So?
Maybe. So let's.
Alright, okay.
It's fruity.
Isn't it?
It's very fruity. There is nothing not to like about that. And they're soft. I mean, they're soft centres. I don't quite know what I was expecting from the centre.
I thought it would be soft.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, I can't really say I'm particularly excited by that. I think I'd have to have more, which is a good sign. You know, I would definitely have. I think what's impressive about it is the chocolate. I mean, 55%.
Are they made in Australia? Because normally the chocolate's different, isn't it, in Australia?
You're made in Australia from local.
Right. Because I think, because it's
So it
such a
doesn't-
hot country, it tends to be different to chocolate here.
Yeah. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. They're not as bad as I thought they were going to be.
Well, there's a
So
testament.
Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole.
I think I would score those 2.5,
Oh, right.
which is very sort of down the middle. But, ladies and gentlemen,
So Hawaii wins
Hawaii
this one
pips Australia at the post, but
Yeah.
both are very pleasant. So, Dark Fruit Chocks by Men's and Crackseed, etc.
then. I
with
think that, well...
something underneath, which
yeah,
is very
we're not
hard to
quite
read.
sure what they...
But these are super interesting and really nice and lovely with a nice cold drink. But exciting. Get ready for a Japanese extravaganza.
Oh, yes!
And we've got boots on the ground in Japan as well.
We have.
So if we're going to properly get to the bottom of, you remember a few episodes back we tried some Japanese sweets and we were impressed.
We were.
But how good are they? Are they really exceptional at everything they make? We have a feeling they are.
We have got very high hopes.
So we have put someone on the
Japan
ground.
rocks.
Yeah, we've put someone on the ground in Japan, and we'll be joining them live.
We will.
They'll be talking us through a whole range of Japanese sweets, and we'll be doing that with you in an episode really soon. So stay tuned for that. Kay Jones, I think it's time to find out, because there is so many. What's off your needle?
Wow. Right, where to begin?
Where to begin?
Let me gather the
Let
troops.
you gather the troops.
Because I started a new sock head, I must have finished the existing one, and I did. So this is the Dancing Dog Dye Works hat that I've been knitting for the past 1 or 2 episodes. And I finished it, and I knit this one a little bit longer than the previous one because it's for Bryony, and she's got a large, bless her head's on the large side.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. So I knit it a little bit longer so that she would have a bit of slouch. She wanted a slouchy hat. And she's been taking this to school. So yeah, I knit it to about 9 inches, I think, and then did the decreases. And it looks really cute on her. It looks super, super cute. And I used about, I think I've got about 39 grams left. So just over 60 grams I used. And it's lovely. It washed up really, really nicely. And like I said, she looks super cute on it, in it even. So that's my first finished object.
That was fast.
Well, people have seen that before.
She
so
doesn't mess around.
I've not really got much else, because I've said, lots about this before.
So is that a Christmas gift?
No.
No. So I'm afraid you don't get any points for the great Bakery Bears
No.
knit along.
No.
The BB Handmade Christmas Carol, 0 points for Kay.
Yep.
Now, oh no, it is. This is for
It is
Christmas.
for Christmas.
Winner. So point to me. Look,
It's still wet.
it's really
so-
wet, and it also has a staple in it somehow.
That's come off that bag. there,
All right.
darling.
Okay.
I'll
Oh,
just put it-
whoops. There it is.
Isn't it lovely?
It's washed. It's blocked, and the fun and games were had on the crown decreases.
Oh, it looks lovely though, doesn't it?
But
How
I
pretty
didn't
it
get
looks.
any of them wrong.
No.
Everything is in the right place. Okay,
And
you
I
may have had to
should-
tink back for me once.
Oh, I did. Now we're talking about it. I'll show you which needle.
Yes.
Dan was using this one to do the crown decreases.
And what I found strange about those needles was there seemed to be ridges all over them.
Well, there is now.
How have I put ridges on?
Well, you have.
How would I have done that?
Because of the yarn on the needles, it's so tight, it's bit in. Look at the state of it. Look. Can
Hold
you
them up,
see?
hold them up.
It looks like it's been gnawed by a small animal. I'll hold it up really close. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Can you see if I turn it like that?
Oh dear.
I don't know if you can see. There's ridges all over, vertical ridges. And it's where the yarn, because it's so tight, has bit into the soft bamboo. They're an absolute mess.
But the hat was worth the pain. Yeah, it'll be in Kay's Christmas stocking.
It will, and it fits lovely. I have tried it on, but it's currently very damp.
Yes.
Because the weather. Can you believe how much it's tipping down out there? And I've got all.
I know.
I've got a whole line of washing.
So this is Red Stick Fibres, and it was dyed up by. So it was hand spun by Red Stick Fibres,
Yes.
and it was dyed up Mosaic Moon.
Yes, that's it.
It is a Doctor Who colourway.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really know that. I mean, what I love about it is the way it's been dyed up. you know, I think sometimes when you get colourways which are specific, it's obvious. A bit like that. That's so obvious.
Yes.
This, you know, I could have knit this for anyone and given this as a gift to anyone.
Yeah,
and I think that's clever.
I think it
dyeing.
does look quite festive with the reds and the greens.
This is the most autumnal hat as well,
It's very
because of
autumnal,
those things that you've said.
But I equally am happy to get it for Christmas.
Tis of course the Speargrass by Susie Gawley, and I strongly recommend that you knit one of these if you haven't. Seriously, this is the Bankhead's great, but I now get.
Oh my goodness!
This is it. This is where it's at.
Oh, you like that better?
You go through stages, don't you? Where you know there was a time when this was, you know, where my knitting abilities were, and you know they began and ended really with this. This is a lovely hat to knit. It's quick to knit. Yeah, he says, this is stretching a little bit, and you know it's beautiful to look at, and the design is really clever. And
It's lovely.
Knit one, you'll love it.
I think I had started this last time. I think I had. I was knitting a teeny tiny monkey for Bryony. Can you remember? I'm sure I'd started this last time, and I finished it, and it did continue to be a bit of a fiddle. Not because of the pattern. I've knit this pattern several times before, and it's a lovely pattern. It's Jerry the Musical Monkey by Rebecca Danger. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It's just purely because of the size of the needles, and you've got very few stitches in the round. So it wasn't difficult at all. It was just a little bit fiddly, but it's just come out so cute. I'm so pleased with it. And Bryony loves her. It's a girl. So there she is. Look at her. How cute. And it just looks so nice in this yarn because it's striped, and you know, in the legs and the arms it did this stripy, and even on the body it's striped as well. So the yarn, the main body yarn, is from the Knitting Goddess, and it was the Sugar Moon colourway, and then the blue is from Sarah's Texture Crafts, and it was Winter is Coming, I believe. So I just think the combination of colours just look really, really nice. So Bryony loves her. I think, did she call her Luna? I can't remember what she decided to name her, but she loves the monkey, so definitely worth the effort. And the tail, I mean, that tail, it's like something like 90 rows of just, you know, not very many stitches in the round. So it's just, like I said, it's just a bit of a fiddle, but not difficult. So there's a little girly Jerry all finished. So I'm just gonna
Would you believe
sit her over there.
I have something else off my needles, and here it is. It's the Declan's hat. This is now for my nephew. Did I have any major disasters with this?
No, you just knit it a bit short in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, so perfect for a young chap.
Yeah, he's only, well, a young teenager, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it does fit, I've tried it on and it does fit me okay, so it's fine, look.
Perfect. Yeah. And they go skiing, so it will be lovely and warm on the slopes. So here's the crayon decreases and all the lovely cables, which I really enjoyed knitting. I mean,
looks really nice in that yarn.
It has, I mean, it's definitely improved with blocking. But you're right, I just need to not knit with yarn like that.
It's a bit on the fluffy side, isn't it?
Yes.
But, yeah. Excellent. 2 Christmas things there you've got.
So that's another point to me. So currently, is there anything else I've done? Yeah, is there? Oh, I can't remember.
I don't think so.
So I've only done those 2. Those.
Oh no, you did the speargrass, the green speargrass.
There's another point to me.
So you've done 3 things.
Okay.
And I've done 3 things.
Seriously?
Yeah, because I've got the poncho,
Yes.
the shawl for
Yes.
your mum, and the slot coat hat that's a gift for Christmas for someone.
Oh yes, yeah, totally,
That's
totally.
a Christmas gift.
Okay.
Why are you pulling a face?
No, that's fine, because hold on, you have another thing. Because
I don't know.
there's a Declan's hat. Did you knit that?
I knit that one, but I knit that ages ago, but we're still going to use it as a Christmas gift, aren't we? So that's 4.
So Kay is winning. Kay has 4 points. I have 3 points.
Right. Well,
I
still
will
win.
be victorious.
You'll still win because I don't think I've got anything on the go at the moment. For
You
Christmas.
will have something else on the go, I'm sure. So I have to. With those 2 done,
Yeah.
that'll be 5 to me and 4 to you.
Right.
But I mean,
I haven't got anything else. I don't think on the go this.
well, we
Christmas.
have to. We've got to get you going with something. Anyway.
Right, my next little finished object, and I'm calling it a finished object because this is finished, is another square for my Disney blanket. I finished the Force Awakens block. This one was a bit more tricky, and the reason this was a bit more tricky is because quite a lot of the characters wear similar things, really, don't they? Like Rey, for example, and Luke, not old Luke, like the original Luke. They both wear these sort of beigey, naturally sort of colours. So I just had to find a way of making them look slightly different. So in the end, what I did was I did some main characters from The Force Awakens. I gave them their old costumes from like the original films. So here's the block finished. So we've got, I put the droids at the bottom, so BB-8, C-3PO and R2-D2 along the bottom. So these two are moustache yarns, and then this I just made up the stripes from various, I think this was an opal, this was a Regia, and that might have been opal as well. This is Chewbacca, so I actually dyed this brownie colour, and then I put in this stripe of like a grey, because do you know he's got the, what's it called?
A bandolier?
Whatever, you know, the thing that Chewbacca has across here. So that's why I added in this stripe of grey. And then the centre block, it's actually two characters. It's Han, is this bit, but it's old Han. Do you know where he has the blue trousers with the red stripe and then the naturally sort of coloured shirt and then a blackish...
That's not old Han, that's young Han.
Young Han. I meant old as in past films.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm sorry, this is very confusing, isn't it?
I'm with you now.
And then the white and the little bit of silver, that's Leia, do you know, in the original film as well, A New Hope. Because I wanted Han to be with Leia, because they should always be together, shouldn't they? So I combined those into a square so that I could get them both in. This one is Luke, and this again is Luke from A New Hope, where he's got on, his outfit is these kind of naturally sort of colours, and then this blue is his blue lightsaber. And then the top row, we've got Rey here. This is Finn, but it's Finn in his Stormtrooper outfit, and the red is the blood. Do you know that at the very beginning he has the blood across his helmet? And then this last one is, what's his name? What's his name? Poe Dameron. And again I went for, because he wears the orange costume quite a lot. Do you know, the pilot costume? But actually that's exactly the same colours as BB-8. When you look at it, it's orange, grey and cream. So I thought I can't do another square of that. So I've gone with like his outfit at the very beginning of the film, which is these more kind of browns. He has like a brownie jacket on, do you know, the one that Finn ends up with? And then it's all bordered as well. This is going to go in the top right hand corner as you look at it that way. So that's all done. And the next one, I'm going to leave it for a couple of weeks because I want it to get a bit closer to Christmas. I'm going to do Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yay.
Because I wasn't sure if that was a Disney film, but actually it was produced, I think, by Disney, or it was put out by Disney. I looked it up anyway and it did say Disney on it, on Wikipedia. So I'm doing Muppets Christmas Carol. So I wanted it to be kind of into November before I started that one. So I'll be having a little Disney Square break for a couple of weeks.
Cool. Anything else off your needles?
I do have one more thing. Gosh, I didn't quite realise I had so much.
That's amazing.
I wanted to knit Bryony something for a birthday. Do I always do it? I'll probably try and give her something hand knit for a birthday. And lovely Susan Claudino just came out with a super cute pattern that's kind of Halloween-y. And it's got two patterns in it. You will have all seen it, I'm sure. It's called Booyah, which is a ghost, and then Belfry, which is a bat. So I've knit, so far I'm going to do them both, but I've just finished Boo, that's the ghost. So here's Boo. Ooh, Boo's so scary. Ooh. And I've knit this using some handspun. Doesn't it look cute? I think soft toys in handspun, I just think they look so cute. And the colours seemed right for a ghost. It's like one that was gifted to me for my birthday. I think it was my birthday, from Heather, and it's Shetland. I've got tons left. It was a huge skein. There was 249 yards, so I've got masses left, and I'm thinking I might knit mittens with it because it's just so nice. The colours are so lovely. It feels very soft. I mean, it says it's Shetland, but it feels very soft. So I don't know if there's something else in there or if there's just some very soft sheep on Shetland, but it's lovely. So there's Boo. So that's going to be a little present for Bryony, and she'll love him.
Is that everything then?
Yes.
So it's time for the Endy Bits. And that means we get to find out who's won the Ollivander Cal.
Yes.
Yes. Who is it? Well, first of all, what have they won?
It's the beautiful kit that came from O'Loops, from Sarah and Lydia. Fantastic. Fantastic
It's very
prize. And we had 27 entries.
Ooh.
It ran up to 28, but mine was obviously the first number. So I drew from 2 to 28, and the winner was number 19. You're all checking on.
Who is it? Who is it?
You? And it's Christine.
Yay!
She is Chris54890 on Ravelry.
Wow.
And she knit a beautiful, it was a green colour and then a speckled yarn from Countess Ablaze. It was really, really pretty. So Christine, well done. Yeah, you've won the fantastic O'Loops kit.
What does Christine need to do?
So would you just PM me on Ravelry, your full name and your address, and I will get that sent out to you pronto.
Nice.
Well done, and thank you to everybody that participated in that. It was really fun, and I loved seeing all your finished shawls. I've just got those. I wanted to just show you something that's totally not yarn, but I bought these yesterday. Every year around Christmas, I love burning this particular candle. Oh my gosh. And last year I failed to get them and they were out of stock. They go out, I find that they go out of stock incredibly quickly. They're from Marks and Spencer's, which is a UK shop, but you know, I'm sure you'll be able to get them online. I would imagine they're a huge company, so I would imagine they ship worldwide. But they do a scent at Christmas that's mandarin, clove and cinnamon. Oh, hold up. There you go. And it is the most amazing smell. I can't tell you how amazing this smells, doesn't it? And I got, like I say, last year I missed out on it, and when I went to get some, they were just all gone. I couldn't find them anywhere. Marks and Spencer's at Christmas do this thing where you get all the gifty sort of things at Christmas. It's 3 for 2. So I bought 3 and only paid for 2, obviously. So I've got one burning over there, and it's just fantastic. So I'm not going to run out this year. So if you can get your hands on one of these, really just go and get one, because it is the most wonderful smell. It's just fantastic. So I wanted to tell you about that. And then the other thing was I caught an update from Skein Queen, I never know how to say it, and I got some of her little wrigglers, which are mini skeins. It's a single ply superwash merino.
Mini skeins?
Well, it's
Skein Queen and they're skeins. Surely.
Yeah, but skein rhymes with queen, so I don't know if she would say it. Skein. I know, I say skein, but some people say skein.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's just how it is. I've heard it pronounced skein a lot.
It's a skein.
Oh, well, I think it's skein as well. Nathan will tell us how you pronounce it. But look, I got some little wrigglers.
So you would say that's a skein of yarn?
A lot of people say skein. Each to their own. So I can't remember the colourways for all of these, but I know that was fruit salad. Oh, they're so pretty. And then I've got this beautiful pink. Oh, it's lovely. And then this grey, and again I can't quite remember the colour, but it's got like speckles of blue and grey. Really pretty. So, you know, I keep collecting all these extra minis, and this is what's making me just want to start a new blanket. I think I'm really feeling the urge. So I got those, and then in a moment of madness I ordered some more lace weight. I don't know what's going on with me, but I wanted to try the Malabrigo lace. They're in little 50 gram skeins. It's actually a hank. A skein is, this is a skein, that's a skein. They are hanks, and a ball is the round ball. But, you know, we all just call them skeins, and I do the same thing. But anyway, they come in little 50 gram skeins. I'm going to carry on calling it that. And it's 470 yards per 50 grams, which I think is brilliant, because I bought these before I had bought the other lace weight, and then I forgot I bought these. But I intended to do a 2-colour shawl, my Duchess of Devonshire with these two colours. So I don't know yet which of the lace weights I'm going to use. But the yardage I think is brilliant because those two together is it's over 900 yards, which is brilliant for a shawl, isn't it, lace weight? So the two colours I got, I love these colours and I just think they're going to look so nice together. This one is Applewood. It's washing out. It's deeper than that, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
It's a more rich sort of shades of red. It's not even reddy brown, but it's a beautiful colour. And then this one is Simply Taupe, and I think the two together just look really nice. And I think it'll be one of those things, it would go with lots of things, wouldn't it? You know, it would go really nicely with what I'm wearing now. It's really soft. It's a single ply, really, really super soft. So I might well use those when I knit my lace weight version. So
look, I'm going to be knitting socks. How pretty is this? This was a birthday present.
yes.
And so was this. Look at those. I like them both, but I think I like the green best.
I think it's quite Halloweeny, that green.
It's
Isn't
tricky. It's tricky.
I like them both.
But yeah, it's lovely opal, so I know I love it. And I totally need to. I've got a bag already, actually, with some nice metal needles in, ready to cast on some socks. So maybe I'll have to think. Could I do some for you in that?
Well, you can. I do have lots of socks that you've knit me.
No, then.
So, I mean, you can, obviously.
I'll have to have a think. So I've got those two.
Maybe Bryony.
Maybe Bryony. They feel lovely, actually.
They are lovely, yeah.
And then I also got this. And this is what I'm going to use. This was another birthday present. And this is Malabrigo.
Oh, it's lovely.
Never knit with Malabrigo before, so this will be fun. And this is what I'm going to use to make the beaded handbrake cowl.
Yeah.
And the reason why I've not cast that on yet is because we're just trying to make sure that we get the right
I know.
beads.
We've been looking for beads, and it's a tricky one because the hole in the middle needs to be bigger. And I've not found any that's got a big enough hole in the middle yet.
So if anyone has any recommendations...
If you're in the UK and you can... I know I've used Beads Direct before, and I've used... Is it Crystal and Ice Shop or something? I've used those. But I just need to find a bead where the bead itself is not too massive, but the hole in the middle is a little bit bigger, do you know, to get a slightly bigger crochet hook through.
This will be perfect, though, because it looks like a river.
It's really lovely. It's
And
purples
the
and
beads
greens.
will look like water droplets.
Maybe. It doesn't really look like a river. Why does it look like a river? Purple and green.
Well, that to me is blue.
Oh, I think it's purple. It's the Zarzamora colourway in the Rios.
It says Rio means river in Spanish.
It does, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'll be knitting the beaded handbrake cowl with this.
Yes. And
which was, of course, my massive forfeit from me losing Knit or Forfeit.
I must look for those today because I worked out it's going to need about 480 beads, I think.
Woohoo! I can't wait to put all those on.
It's a lot more than I thought, actually. I counted the little pearl bumps on a handbrake that you knit me.
So that's the end of episode 60.
Gosh!
Thank you so much for watching. Now, lots in store over the next couple of weeks. We'll be back on Tuesday with a tutorial, and then Kay will have a bit more happy knitting.
Happy knitting.
On Thursday, and then we will be doing a review, most probably of that yarn, or also we've got a few other things in the pipeline for the week after. So all sorts. And of course, yesterday there was a brand new What's in Your Oven out.
Oh, was it that?
Yes, was it that? Yeah, it was. So much going on. But then episode 61, don't miss it. Bit of a mystery episode. We have a few things going on at the moment, and whichever one drops first will be what appears in the mystery episode. So that's coming in episode 61. So thank you so much for watching.
And good luck to Amber.
Amber, thank you so much for joining us this episode. And if you want to see more of Amber, if you want to see more of the Yarn Hoarder, I've put a link to her brand new YouTube channel in the show notes below. And you can keep your eye on that.
Yeah.
And a podcast will be appearing there
soon.
Very soon, in the next few days. So you can check her out some more. So thank you so much, Amber. It was just wonderful to spend some time with you in your lovely craft room.
I know.
It was marvellous.
I want to move in there.
Yeah, yeah. So we will see you in 2 weeks for episode 61. Have a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Stan and Kay, the bakery players. Enthusiasm's not quitting for Stan and Kay, the bakery players. They'll take you to fabulous places of which their favorites they'll share. You better buy a pattern, get yourself a bakery pair. You'll find yourself in a castle while watching the bakery pairs. It never feels like a hassle to sit and watch the bakery pairs. What's on your shelf or what's in your oven, or maybe a shawl you'll want to wear. So sit yourself right down and watch